All right, welcome back. You're watching Breakfast Daily, and the show is interactive. We want to hear from you throughout the show. So do send us a message if you're watching on our social media platforms, hashtag Breakfast Daily for us to hear what you're thinking. The WhatsApp line is 0550-585-832. I want to say good morning to everybody across the entire country of Ghana, wherever region you're watching us from. Good morning to you. And if you're watching across the continent of Africa on DSTV 363, I want to say good morning to you as well. And I want to get into some very important conversation this morning on illegal migration and looking at the challenges that are in this particular space. All right, we have a quick report for you. Let's take a look at that. We'll come back and then we'll get into some conversations on this matter.
The recent trend of globalization has promoted the integration of economies, including labor market. Although this has brought many opportunities for workers and businesses, the growth in the global economy has not been beneficial for all. The International Labour Organization (ILO) estimated that about 21 million men, women, and children are in forced labor, trafficked, held in debt bondage, or work in slave-like conditions. Modern slavery is quite common in Ghana, manifesting itself in the form of exploitation of children and women labor, especially within the agricultural sector. In contributing towards addressing the phenomenon of modern slavery, Action Aid Ghana is implementing a project titled Combating Modern Slavery in Ghana. The project is implemented in about 4 regions where the issue of modern slavery in agriculture is prevalent. It is aimed at responding to issues of modern slavery, purposely to decrease the scale and prevalence within the agricultural sector. It is common, especially here, that families and individuals voluntarily give out their children to go as far as to Nigeria to work. Some come back with virtually nothing and have rather become drug addicts. To ensure the protection of the vulnerable, Action Aid Ghana is supporting over 400 community members to help sensitize community members on the dangers. The District Police Commander for Nanumba South, ASP Yusuf Yahya, has assured of his commitment to the project. Some participants have been speaking to City News.
I've learned a lot from the beginning to now. We came here last and we learned something. And when we went to the house, we called a meeting on that. We told the people, we even invited these agri people to come and add into us to talk to our people to stop this modern slavery, especially those who are sending this child trafficking, sending their children to people that they don't know, to stay with them. At the end, they won't bring anything. So we talked on that, and they said they also told our people what they think is bad on that. And I think some even made the people to bring back their children, and even the burden on women in our communities.
I've learned a lot from them. We have started yesterday, and we learned something about modern Ghana slavery. There are some times we normally send our children to give it to someone outside or somewhere, and the person will go stay with the person on board and be working for the person. And the way the other man is treating with, or let me say, if he's staying with a woman or a man, maybe he's treating him or her what is not good. So we should stop that, not giving our children to someone to go and stay with the person. But and more to the point is, and our women self in the house, there are some children, they are not up to 18 years, but we are giving them some work, which is not good. Girls, for this time, if a girl is not up to 18 years, you're supposed to tell that girl to go and bring what she cannot even do. And in the house, we ask that girl to cook, and she can't cook. She'll be there crying with the food, how she managed to work to prepare.
A victim of modern slavery who has gone to experience it and come back to the community shares with City News the sordid experiences.
We are suffering. We don't have any work to do in Ghana here. because we don't have a land to do anything. So that's why we travel to Nigeria to work to get money. Maybe we can go there, maybe work 1 year, we will not pay him. So that's why we are traveling to Nigeria. But
How long did you do that?
maybe you can stay maybe 2 years, 3 years for them. Maybe that's the problem. We don't have any work to do Ghana here. So that's why we're going to means any work from it is farm when we stay there and work, yams, everything. Maybe 2 years, 3 years before you will get the money. Maybe sometimes you won't get the money.
Right, so that is the story of illegal migration, and you heard people also giving their own reasons, why they would want to move from where they are supposed to be comfortable, and the dangers associated, with some of these practices. I mean, moving to the unknown. I mean, here in Ghana, we have the issue of even local migration, people moving from one region to other places where they think,
things will be better
for them, but they come in and it's a whole new experience, because it is not that easy. People in Accra are also complaining. People in Kumasi are complaining. So if you are coming from somewhere thinking that you are going to make it that simple, it is not. Others also move beyond the shores of Ghana, which is even more dangerous,
So I see two aspects of this. I see the one where people who are adults or they have capacity to take decisions on their own choose to go and work in places where they feel things will be better. Then there are those where children are sold or given, to go and work. And it's a difficult situation.
It is. So we have been joined on the show by the project manager, Action Aid, Momoni Halia. Thank you very much for your time. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you. And good morning to your viewers. But before I start, I am the program officer for Northern Region, not the program manager.
Right. Thank you very much for that. But we are discussing, the illegal migration. What can you tell us from where you sit about this issue?
Illegal migration is actually a reality in our community.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you are on.
Yes, it's a reality in our community. I think we critically selected the project district because of the prevalence of these issues in the 3 districts. The project actually is implemented across 4 regions, but for Northern Region, we are implementing it in Nanumba, South, Panda, and East Gonja. And I must say that illegal migration is very prevalent among the youth, where because of the most of the communities in this district are predominantly farming communities. And so we have people who come, hide in the pretense of coming to do business in the community, and then they end up trafficking our young brothers and sisters. Sometimes not even within Ghana, but they traffic them across borders in neighboring countries like Nigeria, deceiving them that when they go there, it's rosy, and then when they engage in farming activities there, they are going to come back being better people in terms of how much they will earn. And so you have majority there. One of the young men who spoke to you, there are countless of them in the communities who have embarked on these trips, and they are back. Many of them are drug addicts because they go there and they are subjected to work under very harsh conditions. No rest, no respect for their rights, and that sometimes they even induce them with drugs so that they could work beyond their natural capacity. So many of them, as I speak to you, have become drug addicts. They have come back with nothing, and that is why this project seeks to create the awareness in the community that people should be aware of these human traffickers and don't just get carried away by the lip services that they come to play.
So if you tell us about the assessment of the this menace, over time? Is it increasing? Is it static? Is it decreasing? And what do you think is the issue? Is it that people are too desperate, they just want to go out there, make some quick money? Is it because they are justified? There's no proper means of survival in their local community? What exactly is the problem? Hi, Halia.
Hi, yeah, I can hear you. I think it's not based on just one factor. There are multiple factors that contribute to this problem. One is the unemployment. Many of the young men who live in our community, hello?
We can hear you.
So there are multiple factors, and I'm saying that one is due to unemployment situation in our community. These are young men and women who have so much energy, and then they aspire to do better things for themselves, but the opportunities are very limited. So they are very vulnerable when people come to deceive them that it's better elsewhere. Then they'll just fall free. That is one. Two, the lack of patience by our young people to understand also that life is a gradual process. Yes, you want to have a bright future, but you have to start from somewhere and gradually you get there. It's also another contributory factor. And there have been times that they are pushed by parents. Some of them are actually below 18 and then they embark on some of these dangerous trips. So parents push them to go and make the quick money and come. So there are multiple factors that are contributing to this challenge. So that's why we are tackling it from all angles, working with different stakeholders, community level, the young people themselves, traditional authority, and the state agencies to see how we can partner together, play our individual roles to bring an end to this challenge.
So when you say
ActionAid actually got funding support from the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation to implement a 3-year project. We started last year and we are in the second phase. Our target is to do more of awareness creation among different stakeholders, especially the young people, parents, traditional authorities, and all opinion leaders, to understand that when people come to their community to tell them these things, they should not just take them on the face value. They need to do investigations to find out. And sometimes we even have recruitment agencies, the fake recruitment agencies who go into communities to recruit these young people. They need to do background checks with the labor department to find out whether they are licensed recruitment agencies. And if they are individuals, they need to be aware of some of these diseases so that they don't fall prey to some of these things. And so the awareness training, we do face-to-face, we do radio campaigns like we are doing. And we also establish a CSO network in all the districts. They are also coming from this community. They are representatives of their community to support us in the awareness training drive. We also have alternative livelihood skills that we have provided for vulnerable women and households so that as they are able to earn their own money, they will stand the strong chance to resist being recruited or to resist the recruitment of their children into some of these things. It's not just adults, but they also come and then traffic children as well to dance up, and sometimes they don't treat them well.
Halia, just before you leave us, can you give us a sense of which communities within the northern region are most, hit by this challenge, this menace?
There are a lot. In fact, there are a lot. I can't just mention the few. Currently, we are working in 25 communities, and in all the 25 communities, these issues are prevalent. In Namumba South, we have the Apusaya, we have Panyanse, we have Namani. To name them, there are a lot. These are just selected communities that we are working in, but there are a lot more communities that we have these issues going on.
Okay, so would you say this is driven solely by poverty or by just perception of the grass is greener on the other side, or is
it's both? Poverty is a contributory factor.
Okay.
And then also the fact that people just get carried away that elsewhere is better. Yes.
I see.
Right. So As a nation, because Action Aid is helping create awareness, as a nation, how do we position ourselves to deal with this?
Yes, I think as part of the project strategy, we are also working with state agencies like the Ghana Police Service, Social Department of Social Welfare, NCC, SRAD, because these are mandated state institutions that are supposed to protect the people, support in awareness creation, let the people understand existing laws that are there to protect them, so that in case someone is victimized, they are the institution that the person can fall on to seek justice. So we are working with them closely, and our work is under the Ministry of Gender 4P, where they are looking at prevention and protection that has to do with more of the awareness creation and prosecution as well. Because some of the agents who recruit these young men and women live with us in the community. So we are looking at where the state institutions can support us, prosecute some of these people so that it will serve as a deterrent to those who would want to venture into that kind of business of exploiting other people and then violating their rights. The partnership, yeah. And so far, so good. At least we've been getting very positive response from the institutions that I have mentioned, and they are supporting us with even the awareness creation drive.
All right, thank you very much, Halia Mumuni. Halia Mumuni is the project officer for Action Aid in the northern part of Ghana on this particular project. We also have the DCE of Nanumba South, Zakaria Yusuf. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Yusuf.
Good morning, my brother.
Yes, how are you doing this morning?
Very fine, my brother.
All right. So give us a sense of what's happening within your community. We've had this conversation a few minutes with Halia Mumuni, who is the project officer with the Action Aid Ghana, and talking about people wanting to leave Nanumba South as one of the communities, looking for greener pastures elsewhere and all that. How aware are you of this situation, and are there any interventions you're looking at as a DCE to try and stem the tide?
Thank you, my brother. Yes, I think this migration from the north to the south is not anything new. It has been with us for the past several decades. Growing up, we were told that life in the south is very cozy and rosy. So when we all grew up after education, we said, yes, it's good we go to south so that we can make life better for ourselves. That has lingered on up to date. And people still rise to serve, even after education. Because it is believed that in the south there are better jobs. It is believed that in the south there are better standards of living. So we are aware it's prevalent, and it's in Nanumba South.
So what I was asking Halia Mumuni earlier on whether it's only poverty or it's also a matter of perception. What do you think? Is it just poverty, or perception of greener pastures is a major factor?
It goes beyond poverty. It's not only poverty. There are several other multitude of factors that combine effectively to cause this menace. Poverty might be a leading factor, but lack of education is also a cause. Many people are unaware that what they told us about relative to staff is not the case. People are not aware that there are consequences when you travel out to live in somebody's land. People are not aware that the moment you abandon your home and go somewhere, you become a slave. So lack of education is there. Migration, some of these people are promised that when you go to South, you may get a good job. They will take you there. When you go and you don't get the job, you become frustrated. So you end up joining the bandwagon, people who are doing anything just to survive.
Yeah.
Particularly our girls, they are asked that they should go and they'll get them jobs. When they get and they don't get the jobs, they end up becoming sex workers on the streets.
So what can we do? What can your office do to stem this
I
tide?
think currently, as you mentioned, an Action 8 Ghana is partnering with the Assembly to provide education, to provide support, so that we tame the tide. We are not oblivious that people are traveling. We are aware. Even last year or early this year, somebody was trafficked into Oti region.
Yeah.
And the perpetrators were arrested. They traced the fellow's relatives to our district, and the guy was sent to us via our social welfare department. We took charge of the boy and also made our findings, and his parents were in Togo. So Assembly had to take all the costs that was involved and send the guy back to reintegrate with the family. So we are in it. And even as we speak, my assembly, the district assembly, is in a joint service with Action A, and they're providing education via radio station and FM station in the Number South.
Okay.
Right, Mr. Yusuf, so now you've identified some of the factors, that make people migrate. Now you're also partnering with Action Aid to bring education to the people. Now we've also established that poverty is one of the leading causes, if not the leading cause, of people migrating, from northern parts of the country, either to the south or beyond the shores of Ghana. Now, when people get this education with all the dangers associated with leaving their homes where they will not be considered as slaves, then what? Because if it is poverty, they are driven by something to go find means of survival. How is the assembly, how is government engaging young people in these areas to make sure or to ensure that when they know of the dangers, they have something to do to help them stay and at least earn something little that can put food on their table?
Very well. I think that's a very good point. Because government, and for that matter, our assembly, is not oblivious to the effects of these things. So, as part of efforts, this time government wants to what we call local economic development. And by this, they want to empower the youth, particularly, who are the vulnerable people, by providing them with skills, vocational skills, that will enable them to establish themselves through businesses, so that the exodus of people from the rural, particularly rural communities, countryside, to the cities in the south will reduce, if not completely eradicated. So Assembly is also in that situation. We have stepped up our efforts to assist people to push and enhance their capacities in whatever businesses they do, so that when they get established better, their income levels will increase, and that would motivate people to stay and not to travel outside the district anymore.
Right, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so we've been speaking with Zachariah Yusuf, who's the DCE of Nanumba South.